Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.com. Thank you so much for joining me today on a Saturday for the Project Share Project blog hop, and this is my accompanying video for that. So in the description there's going to be a link directly to my blog below, so if you just click down there, okay, click on my blog, and within there there's going to be links to Heather, Jill and Jez, who I do a project share with each Thursday on the blog. So do check that out. Please do have a look, give them some likes, comments, and all of them will probably do video tutorials of their makes as well, so look out for those too. So the theme that we're all going for this time is the Neutrals collection from Stampin' Up. So there are several colour families in the Stampin' Up colour range, and I'm just grabbing the current annual catalogue here. If you haven't got a catalogue, obviously just let me know if you would like to have a peruse of this in your own home. So like I said, there's several colour families. The Neutrals is just one, and I've probably gone too far in the catalogue, and I probably should have found the page before I came on, but I literally just thought of it. So there we are, what looks like it's right. Okay, so I think, yes, here we are. So we have Brights, Neutrals, Regals, Subtles, and then we have some basics as well. Okay, so we're working with the Neutrals, which actually do have some actual colours in them too. So whilst we do have all the lovely browns and greys, we do have Merry Merlot, Mossy Meadow and Night of Navy in that collection too, because they're very diverse. They'll go with lots of things, and basically you can't go wrong with a neutral. You can chuck them with a bright or a regal or even a subtle. The subtles are over here. I love the subtles. Soft sea foam's a beautiful colour. And you're almost guaranteed a great result, or you just use them on their own, which is what we're doing today. I'm not introducing any other colour families to keep in with the theme, and of course we do have our black, very vanilla basic white. Don't forget we've also got the in colour collection, so I would say that we've got cinnamon cider there that would quite easily be classed as a neutral colour with that sort of brown spectrum. This is the card I've made. Okay, didn't want to make it too fussy, but I wanted something festive as well. So this I think is really great for the guys in the over the winter season, festive season. Yes, that's it. So if you're not sending, if someone doesn't celebrate Christmas, this is a great sentiment just to let them know that you're thinking of them at that time of year as well. And the bundle I featured is Merriest Moments. Okay, so I probably should say that I've used a Sahara Sand card base here. I think Sahara Sand is a bit overlooked. I think it's a really nice soft colour if you don't want to use crumb cake or something. I actually matted in black. Probably should have used Early Espresso. Stamped in Early Espresso, and then my accents are the black, matte black dots and the gingham ribbon. A little bit of ink going around the edge just to pick out the embossing just a little bit. Okay, so really nice simple layout. And I say this is the Merriest Moment, so we have a beautiful photopolymer stamp set, okay, with poinsettias and holly and all that kind of stuff, and some lovely sentiments, like I say. So all but that one doesn't mention Christmas actually, so there's bits and pieces for everyone. The bundle actually incorporates a set of dies which are awesome. So they cut out a larger image, and we've got all the accent dies as well. The only die I'm using today is this one, just to pick out that frame for the sentiment. That's the stamp set and the dies, and then the dies and the embossing folder work together in this bundle. They're a hybrid embossing folder, so this is designed specifically. Do not do this with anything that is not a hybrid embossing folder. There's two. There's one in this catalogue and one in the annual catalogue that are designed to work with the die, and you slot the die in and it will cut and emboss at the same time. Okay, we're just embossing today though, which is the first thing we're going to do. We're going to switch the colours, and I'm going to go with the greys, and I'm going to introduce some vellum too, just for an added little thing, totally optional. Remember, all I'm doing is giving you some serving suggestions on what you can do with these products. So I'm really hoping that's not flashing too much on my light. So what I'm doing is just using hopefully some straight edges on my panel here. This is one of my, what I call my mini layers. I'm sort of pushing it a little to the top. So we've got a narrower border at the top than we have at the bottom, but centralised it left and right. And then hold that in place and squash that in. Mini layers, sorry. So my cardstock there is 3 by 4 3/4, and then all my layers will be an 1/8 of an inch taller and wider. So that's going to go through my cut and emboss machine. Instructions are on the plate as to what sandwiches you need. This is a 3D embossing folder, so I'm using the base plate number 1, which is this one. I've got my cardstock, and I'm going to use my number 4 plate, this dark grey one, number 4, to roll that through. And it's absolutely effortless, it just glides through. It's beautiful. But obviously that plate is designed specifically to apply the right amount of pressure to this particular embossing folder. Okay, so there we have our embossing, which you could totally leave as it is. Okay, but I thought it would be nice just to emphasise that a little bit with a bit of ink. So I'm just going to grab some scrap. I'm going to use the lighter of my 2 colours in my combo, which is grey granite and my grey blending brush, just making sure I've got no residual ink on the background there, and I am going to take just most of it off and just rub over that really lightly. It is the merest hint of some colour, but it's surprising how much it lifts the embossing. Totally optional though, if you haven't got a blending brush or anything. Sort of a soft makeup sponge could work. You just have to go really lightly over the top, and just use very little ink. You can always add some more if you feel it needs it. Okay, it's easier, obviously you can't erase it, so just go light and build it up until you get the effect that you want. Okay, right, now it's probably barely discernible, but in real life that's going to really just give that just a little bit more poke. Alright, just close that up for now. Okay, we can get this layered up. Because of all that texture, I'm going to use wet glue to do that. Now usually I'm a fan of the Stampin' Seal, but with texture like this, the tape can sort of pull up the raised areas a little bit and catch on them, so the wet glue works better for those kinds of things. So, and also it just gives you a moment or two just to make sure that that is all in position, and that has wriggled down a little bit, so we'll just slide that up like so. Okay, and then we can just use our tape to apply that to our vellum. Layer 2. So just a few strips there. Just get that even border, top and bottom, like so. So again, the vellum layer is just, it's a little something that will add another element of interest without being too fussy, okay? Or again, it just sort of blends in, but it's there for the recipient, and I think that looks really, really super. Okay, layers done. So as I said, I was going to use this little rectangle die here to cut out my sentiment topper, which I've already done. Okay, and I'm just going to use my basic grey ink to stamp sentiments with, that and early espresso if you want an alternative to black. So I've already made sure that the stamp is level on my block, and I do that by using my grid paper to make sure it's straight, and then putting my block over the top, also lining it up with the grid paper. So then everything in theory should be all nice and lined up. So there we go, brilliant. Thinking of you this festive season. Because we're adding ribbon behind this, I'm going to pop this up onto some dimensionals. So I'm just going to do a couple top and bottom, so the ribbon's got room sort of to go across at the back. So this is how we're shaping up right now. Really, really cool. Okay. So ribbon wise, I've got a bit of a choice here, right? Now everything's grey thus far. We could add a pop of black, or even go back to the gingham, but we've used the gingham. Let's use something different. We could use the sparkle just to bring that in, or we go with the grey. Now I think the pop of black might be quite cute here, just to sort of give it a bit of lift. But you've got loads of options there. So this is the Great Granite shimmer ribbon. Isn't it lovely? Really has a lovely shimmer to it. Wonder if that's why they called it that. And then obviously the gingham, which is really, really soft cotton ribbon. So there's a few options. There's a white version of this as well, which would go just as easily. But I think we're going to go with this stuff, I think, as our accent. Cool. So, sorry. First instance, I'm going to wrap some round the back of the card. Now, is that length long enough now? Actually, do you know what? I'm going to go around once. It's thicker than the other one, so I'm just going to go around once with that. That's just the tape coming through on the vellum, which is why vellum is often a bit of a tricky thing to use, but because we're sticking stuff, you know, it's hidden, it's not going to be a problem. Bit of seal going on the back there just to secure this around the back, and I'm kind of aiming for sort of central on that sort of middle rectangle there. Don't want to pull too tight over the vellum, but you want it in place. There we go. So we can make sure that's secure by getting it onto our card. Plenty of seal on these other pieces, which will keep it nice and secure. Here's our card base. Okay. Our sentiment can go on top. Just remove those dimensional backings. They're very, very easy to get off. Dabs of glue over the top will give you the opportunity just to make sure that that is in place before committing to it, and it's sitting nicely in that frame there, and then when you're ready just give it a press and it'll just sort of squeeze it down, and you've got the quick grab of the dimensional with the repositionability of the wet glue. Okay, so we'll take off another length of this stuff. This glitter ribbon, I assume they spray it or something because it's quite stiff. It doesn't want to sit flat sort of thing, so go with it and make your loops with the bend, if you know what I mean. Okay, so to make your 2 loops and then tie it in sort of a simple knot, let it do its thing, and then with this one I find you have to pull it really, really tight in the first instance, and then if you mess with it, it won't sort of undo itself. It just wants to it's just the nature of this particular material. So pull it tight in the first instance, and then you can fuss with it all you like. That's just got a bit crinkled in there, but that's fine. And you will get glitter everywhere. You will. Okay. And you can make that as floofy as you like. Glue dots are the best thing for sticking bows, so you just press it onto the dot and it comes off onto your material, and we'll pop that in. So these loops are going to misbehave a little bit, but again, if you really feel the need to, just stick a glue dot underneath them and to keep them into place. Give those tails a trim. Okay, but it gives it some oomph anyway. Okay, and then embellishment wise, we'd use the matte black dots on the other ones, but I thought we'd use these lovely subtle shimmer sequins. So they're all sort of, they've kind of got there's like a matte silver, shiny silver, and it's almost like a vellum-y kind of thing going on. So get a nice sort of variation, and there's 2 sizes, there's sort of some big ones and some little ones. Okay, so I've just chucked those onto my desk, which don't know whether I'll regret that or not, but anyway. So our odd numbers, so I'm just putting some little teeny dabs of glue just there, and we'll just place these little teeny ones up here as well. Just using this other pokey tool just to help me get them off the putty tool. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need another one down here. Let's go for one of these ones. So I like the odd numbers. Okay, those are great. Very, very subtle, but now I've got to make sure that all those go back in there. Probably shouldn't have tipped out so many, should I really? But that's fine. The thing is, if I just if I don't do that right now, as soon as I bring in my other cards to show you, I'm going to end up pinging those all over the place, aren't I? And you can see, look, you get blooming billions of them. Great for shaker cards and stuff if you're into that kind of thing. Okay, and you like making those kinds of cards. So there we go then, neutrals featuring today with so the sample I've made with you today is grey granite, a bit of vellum and some basic grey stamping, and our black glitter organdy ribbon and our lovely shimmery sequins. The original was Sahara sand, a bit of basic black and early espresso, and the beautiful gingham ribbon with the black matte dots. Okay, all of those are neutrals, great for the guys, great for people who don't necessarily celebrate Christmas. So I hope you've enjoyed those. Just a quick reminder, this is part of a blog hop. Please do check out the description, click on my blog post to then go off and see Heather, Jill and Jez. Okay, thanks ever so much everybody. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye.